national jurisdiction. Why was he brought to Nairobi?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. When we are making the decision to determine where to take a suspect, there are several variables that we consider. One is the logistics and the investigation convenience. If we say that we take him to a court in Homa Bay, and majority of the witnesses are in Nairobi, the forensic lab evidence is in Nairobi, the complainant is in Nairobi. So because of that, and because of the logistic reasons, that's why sometimes we find it more convenient to have the suspect charged here in Nairobi instead of wasting a lot of resources going to Homa Bay. And that is provided for in our service standing orders, Honorable Speaker.
Let's hear Ipoa. You may take your seat, DCI.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I was asked 4 questions, and the first one was from the Leader of Majority on the status of the young man as he left Homa Bay to Nairobi. And Honorable Speaker, the documents that we have obtained from Central Police Station, which include the OB, indicate that he was booked in as of good health. We also have the statements from the 5 arresting officers, the DCI officers, who alleged that he spoke to the wife before he was booked in. And in regard to that, we have written to Safaricom to be able to obtain the call log to verify whether it's true he spoke to the wife at the same time. And also, once we have the family statements, which are meant to be taken tomorrow, the same indication will come out clearly. The other thing that would have shown his condition clearly, Chair, is the CCTV, which in our report we have indicated was tampered with. And from the forensic report, the forensic experts that we have at the authority, it's very clear that the CCTV was working, because the first thing the forensic expert and the investigating officer noted when they got into Central Police was that the power was not connected to the power cable of the CCTV was not connected to the socket. But on connecting it, the CCTV came back. But on trying to review the previous day's events, there was nothing. So it is very clear that the CCTV was tampered with, and we have referred the same to an expert to be able to retrieve the data. And on whether the retrieval will be successful will depend on if it was the hard disk that was removed or was just it was just a rest. So we are waiting for that, Honorable Speaker. There was also a question on the police stations which have CCTV. On the judgment of one Judge Ogola, he gave recommendations to us and also to the IG on the importance of having CCTVs at the cells, and we are pursuing that. And there was also a recommendation from, I think, LSK on the same. So we are pursuing that, and we have also done inspections and written recommendations to the IG on that. And I want to commend the IG because during his interrogation for the job, he spoke of the importance of having officers having body cams as they do their work. This would also be an avenue where we would have seen what really transpired. So I believe these are some of the reviews and some of the reforms that we would want to see NPS taking up. The other question was on the officers who are interdicted, what we are doing about them as an authority. And I had indicated in my report that the 6 officers were to report today for statement writing at the authority headquarters. And during lunchtime, I've confirmed they have reported and their statements were being taken. 8 of them, including the OCS, had already taken the statements. So of the 6, the authority saw 9 more, 11 more being persons of interest who are officers who are also around in the central police station, and they'll also be taken in for for statement writing. There was also a question on how long we think as an authority we can give the same case to ODPP for prosecution. Honorable Speaker, with deliberation with my team, our legal team and our investigators, if you're given less than 10 days, we'll be able to have all the reports ready, given that we have around 4 or 5 things that we need to conclude. And Honorable Chair, we had given, we had a bill in front of this House through JILAC, that is Honorable Sigei's committee, on powers to arrest and prosecute. There was a question on why the officers have not been arrested. So these are still powers that we are seeking as an authority, because if given these powers, we'll be able to arrest and also prosecute. Immediately we are done with our investigation. And Honorable Speaker, we are committed. As the CS said, nobody is above the law. Our act as Ipoa gives us mandate and powers to summon anyone, including the IG, for statement taking. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Let us hear from the National Police Service Commission. Let him say for the record.
Thank you, Speaker. I don't think there was a question directed to the National Police Service Commission, but I just want to say two things. On the issue that has been alluded by the CS Interior and even the IG himself, we have had situations where the IG wants to do promotions, but officers have not undertaken the requisite career progression courses. And when the CS says there is more need to try and pool resources so that these trainings can be facilitated. And finally, that we are in discussions. It's the National Police Service Commissions which approves the curriculum, and therefore with all the other stakeholders, once it is developed, then it is the mandate of the Commission to approve that curriculum if there are new changes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Now, once Senator Sige, you have the floor, you will seek that and ask your question, because you are doing the second round of questions. Now, honorable senators, if you can be direct to the questions, we'll save a lot of time. I am persuaded to put a time within which to ask your question. So within a maximum of 3 minutes. A maximum of 3 minutes. If you want to make a speech, you'll need 5. But if you need to ask clarification, 3 should be enough. Senator Ali Roba. Senator Ali Roba.
Thank you very much.
Senator Ali Roba, just take your seat. I remember that Senator Nyutu had not concluded when we adjourned. So conclude.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll take under 1 minute. I was stood down by the point of order by Majority Leader. And my last question actually was to Ipoa. And I wanted to ask them how safe they are investigating people who have power to arrest and carry firearms. And Mr. Speaker, because I say this because Lawyer Willie Kimani was doing exactly what Ipoa does, and he lost his life. So what is the security guarantee for Ipoa? And DIG did not get my question, Mr. Speaker. He's saying that I claimed that investigation about this death has been speedy. I was talking about investigation about the claim made by DIG Lagat. It was speeded up. That is what I meant. And finally, to CS Murkomen, he said, he quoted 245. Why we are demanding that DIG Lagat steps aside, it is because he is a police officer, and this matter revolves around him. So you cannot liken this to a complaint that is made by a senator or somebody else. This is a police officer who can interfere and who can command even people, the officers that are investigating. So it needs to be made clear. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Crystal Asige.
That's very brilliant.
Thank you, Speaker. The clarification that I sought, which is not part of my 3 minutes, I hope, Speaker, was that the question was asked of whether Albert Ojwang was alone or with others in the cell. And the IG said that that would be answered by the DCI and or Ipoa, and neither of them answered that question. So that was the clarification that I was seeking. And it was further highlighted by Senator Mandago, who said that there is a detainee witness statement that Ipoa took that would probably shed light on whether he was alone or with others. That is the clarification. My first question, Speaker. Who issued, this is to DCI, who issued the orders for Albert to be driven from Homa Bay all the way to Nairobi? I would like to know who issued the particular instruction for that to happen, and not to process him in Homa Bay. Next, the DIG personally, we have been informed, recorded a complaint. And who took down that complaint? I would like to know from the DCI as well. And who else recorded a statement in support of the allegations made by the DIG? That is also to DCI. Next is to the IG. I know that the IG Speaker already has said that many of the questions will be answered or will be revealed once investigations are complete, but this one perhaps he can answer directly. This is to the IG. You said in your first media brief that the cause of death was that he hit his head on the wall, Albert. And you've just clarified that that was wrong information given to you by the primary report by an officer. Who was this officer who gave you this false information that you then issued in your first media briefing that misled the country as of the cause of death? That is what I want to know. And the reason I ask this is because if someone saw and alleged that he had repeatedly hit his head on the walls.
Senator Tobiko. Okay, Senator Asige, don't worry, I'll take care of that. Just have your seat. Senator Tobiko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll be very brief because a number of questions that I had have already been answered in the process. Mr. Speaker, because the DCI said the crime was perpetrated in Nairobi, that's why the suspect was brought to Nairobi. Yet cybercrime, social media, including Expóse, is not necessarily domiciled in Nairobi. It is still baffles, Mr. Speaker, why the suspect was brought to Nairobi. But now that that happened, and he seems to have paid for his crime through his life. What then, Mr. Speaker, will be the recourse for a murder of this young man who has been murdered by the police, what will then be, the recourse for the family and for Kenyans in general, Mr. Speaker? Because there seems to be a crime on top of another crime, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had also wanted, but the lady